Have you ever been playing in a big band or learning a jazz tune and you see all these numbers after a chord and you're like, what is this? Well, I'm going to give you a little bit of a framework, some background information, and an exercise you can do that will really help you understand what are the notes in the chord. Welcome to the Jazz Improv Institute. My name is Shannon Gunn. Please hit subscribe, like, and hit the bell to get notifications so you can find out every time we post a new video. This video is actually being created because somebody gave me a comment on my 2-5 video. I'm actually doing this as a response. So if you have questions, please go ahead and put it in the comments. I used to teach at a community college and I had a lot of guitar players and piano players who had maybe learned classically or they were in a blues band or a pop or rock band, and they would see all these chords and they would not really know exactly what to do. So I taught them, first, I want you to look at it as above the line and below the line. And the seventh is the line. When it comes to a chord in jazz, the thirds and the sevenths are what make the chord have its quality and its function. So if you have a number that is lower than 7, that is a substitution. For example, a minor 2-7 flat 5 means instead of playing the regular 5, you're going to play a minor 5 or a lowered fifth. So for example, if you have a C minor 7, that would be C, E flat, G, B flat. But if it's a C minor 7 flat 5, then you have to take the G and lower it a half step. So it's C, E flat, G flat, B flat. Those are the notes in the C minor 7 flat 5 chord. So for example, if you have a C7 sharp 5, then instead of playing the regular 5, you're going to have to do the sharp 5. And the sharp 5 substitutes for the 5. So one thing I recommend before we go any further is I really want you to understand the 4 most basic types of chords in jazz. The major 7th, the dominant 7, the minor 7, and the minor 7 flat 5. Those are very important to know and understand before we even go further. And I have a great exercise. I used it with my whole band class, and I had the drummers play a different time feel every 12 bars. It goes through like an encyclopedia. I highly recommend. Check it out. Download the chords warm-up. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and play through a little bit of it with you right now, just so you can kind of get a sense of it. So the way it works is the major 7th is built off of a major triad, for example, C, E, and G, with a major 7th. Okay? In order for that to become a dominant 7th, you lower the 7th, but keep the major triad. So the dominant 7th is C, E, G, B flat. Then I teach students, from there, I want you to lower the 3rd. That becomes a minor 7th chord. C, E flat, G, B flat. The 7th is very important. Even though it's minor, you still got to have that minor 7th on top. Then I want you to lower the 5th, and that is your minor 7 flat 5. That is often a minor 2 chord in a minor key, and I want you to become really familiar. There's a lot of notation and numbers and symbols, but I do want you to become familiar with that. So I'm going to assume that you know those 4 basic chords. Once you get to the minor 7 flat 5, I tell students, okay, now lower the 7th one more time, and that is a diminished chord. C, E flat, G flat, and A, which is B double flat. And the diminished chord is a symmetrical chord because it is made up of stacked minor thirds. Now let's talk a little bit about extensions. I hope that was really helpful for you. I'm very thankful for everybody listening and watching. Please subscribe, hit the bell, turn on notifications. Please consider joining the Jazz Improv Institute community. Happy practicing.